so very much. First people I want to thank this morning, two people I love more than breathing, my kids Kelsey and Danny. And I want to thank them especially for their suggestion for the music this morning. Those of you who may not know it, that song is called Shock of the Lightning, which is something I think we've given our opponents these last 10 days, and it's something we're going to give them next November. I want to also briefly thank Scott Newman for that introduction. As you know, Scott's been respected for a long time. He's now admired, and there's nobody that I admire more, and I can't tell you what it means to me to have him present me to you this morning. My friends and fellow Republicans, I come before you this morning to ask your blessing and to seek your endorsement for the Republican nomination for the office of Marion County Prosecutor. Let me say right up front, what a humbling and joyful moment this is for me. To see so many familiar faces and friends, people with whom I have laughed and cried over the course of 25 years. Scott spoke of my good fortune of having worked for some of the most trusted leaders in Indiana in modern times. Governor Bob Orr, Chief Justice Randy Shepard, Scott Newman himself, and most recently our great Governor, Mitch Daniels. I earned their trust, and now I want to earn yours. And starting today, I will work tirelessly to earn the trust of our fellow citizens throughout this great city and county. I have performed nearly every task in the office I now seek to lead. I have successfully prosecuted the lowest level misdemeanors, from shoplifters to the drunken and disorderly. I have prosecuted serious felons, rapists, child molesters, white-collar con men, rogue public officers, remorseless murderers. On 2 occasions, I have stood before 12 jurors and asked them to forfeit a man's life. Nothing to be celebrated, not an easy thing to ask, but the unfortunate duty of the man or woman who takes that oath and swears to uphold the law. No other candidate for Marion County Prosecutor this year can offer that experience or perspective. And you can be sure our next prosecutor will face this terrible decision. Best he be someone who has faced it in the past and who has met the challenge. I want to be your prosecutor because I believe in the mission and the promise of the office, because I believe in the rule of law and the uniquely American experiment that is democracy and our criminal justice system. It is a part of American exceptionalism, and it must be nurtured and maintained by men and women of integrity who take seriously their duties as officers of the court to do justice, not just to convict. In our system, it is the prosecutor, more than any public official, who must balance the competing interests of security and freedom, of public safety and private liberty. I want to lead an office where those ideals and responsibilities are celebrated and embraced. We will build on the good work and good record already in place and make Indianapolis safer still for all of her people, and we will do so in a way that safeguards the rights of the accused, the rights of suspects, and most importantly, the rights of victims. I want to be your prosecutor because I want to protect the helpless, defend the righteous, preserve the productive, to help keep Indianapolis a place where business grows and where families stay, where the elderly aren't afraid to leave their homes because there's thugs pitching dope on a corner, where a young family and their baby can take a stroll through a revitalized city neighborhood. I have been lucky to do some interesting and rewarding things in my life, but nothing Nothing can match the embrace of a mother after you've convicted her son's killer. In no other job in public life can you, in the words of Scott Newman, talk about right and wrong and then do something about it. And that's why I want the job. So how do we get there? With the help of all of you and thousands more throughout this great county, we will run an honest, professional, and respectful campaign that reaches out to all our citizens, not just our base. People tell me, Mark, do you know what you're getting into? You know, our county's changed. Our voters have moved to Fishers and Brownsburg and Greenwood. It's swung the other way, they tell me. Well, I'm not buying it. Carl Brizzi didn't buy it. Greg Ballard didn't buy it. Ryan Vaughn and the council majority didn't buy it. We can win here, and we're going to win in November. In a race like this, there are Democrats, Republicans, Independents, of course, but they're all looking for the same thing. The right person with the right experience and the right temperament to lead this most important office. These people are not intractable. They are reachable. They were reachable in Virginia and New Jersey in November, and even in Massachusetts last month. Why? Because we offered good candidates with a mature, common sense message. When Scott Brown won in Massachusetts, the prevailing wisdom is he did so running against government health care. And that certainly was part of it, to be sure. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll find he connected with independents and Democrats and moderate Democrats by talking about what happens when the other party's activists get their unserious hands on the levers of power in the Justice Department. I watched his victory speech and I cheered as this longtime JAG officer in the United States Army, who sounds like an articulate South Boston firefighter, summed up perfectly the grown-up Republican position when it comes to law and order and defending this great nation. He said, as best I can remember, that the liberties we hold dear are for Americans, and that our tax dollars should go to buy weapons to fight terrorists, not to pay lawyers to defend them.